so to add to small space practice, I'll just be showing a very short sequence of yoga asana that helps with vigor, and we need to do the warm-ups for this that we've already done in the sequences so far. So it's best to not do a slightly advanced sequence such as what we'll do now with inversions without warming up first. So we need to have warmed up wrists, shoulders, legs, knees, hips, feet in general. The principle of inversion in yoga is really just turning the other way around or the opposite way around so as to get energy to flow. So the easiest way to demonstrate that is simply if you take your hand up, then it's normally not above the heart, it's above the heart, whereas it's usually your arms are below the heart. So basically, if this is your heart level, anything that you put up and you change the direction of blood flow, which will now be away from your hand, then that would be an inversion of your hand as well. So if you turn the whole body upside down in a shoulder stand or a downward facing dog or a headstand, then, which is the most dramatic, the latter two of yoga going the other way around, it just simply changes gravity-fed blood flow, and it has a massive advantage to get circulation to improve. So I will just show a short sequence. So assuming you've warmed up the head and neck, hips and shoulders and so on, we could start with where we ended off with one of the previous sequences. So if we were in the butterfly and we were stretching forward and your head comes down there and the shoulders are relaxed, you're coming up on the inhale and we're going to go onto the back to a half bridge with the hips up and the fingers at the heels with the chin tucked in, and at least 3 large breaths, one through the nose, out the mouth, to help relax and go higher up, shoulders tucked under, and one for a bit of endurance breath, staying up a bit higher, and one for more flexibility, higher up with stronger thighs. And note where at the throat and chest area there's hips that are higher, and it catches the blood here at the head, neck and face area. So coming down on the out breath, releasing the legs and then sitting upright, that very area that was the lower than the heart with the legs up is now higher up, and the blood that gathered there is flowing away again. So if we then add a boat stretch, not the balance but just the stretch, which we can do even with the legs, so almost everyone can do it at this level at least. Opening the chest, the throat chakra area, and this is the seat of the immunity, thyroid, thymus, which you've also activated with the punching, with the tapping. Take a large in-breath, big exhale, and then from there, coming forward and over to downward facing dog, where again we're having complete inversion to that boat stretch, which you can actually see is the same posture but the other way around. So in order for these practices to be effective, we need about a minimum of a minute in each posture, which we're not doing now. And then going forward again, going back to the floor, and then those who can, we can extend this kind of practice by actually going to the shoulder stand, going up higher, so about a minute there, and then from there coming down, and not coming up straight away, giving the body time to equalize blood pressure. Big in, big exhale, and what you'll see here is the heart, same level as the body and the head, and rolling up on the inhale. The body comes up and the blood goes down, and we've reversed ourselves several times there. So in a sequence like that, which would be about 5 minutes long if you've done it properly, you'll be bringing around about a lot of flow from the top to the bottom to the top, and the other way around again, which will have a very definite effect of creating vigor in terms of circulation and enhancing the health of the endocrine system, which is the basis, balanced endocrine system, of a balanced immunity.
Would you say, as well as fresh blood to the face and improved circulation, that including inversions really are beneficial to immune health?
Absolutely, and the reason is that because if you have stagnant quality in your blood because you're not moving enough, or because you may be moving a lot, but it's all the same type of movement. So for instance, while walking is fairly good, it has a general well-being about it, it brings about a general well-being. It doesn't enhance the body as much as you, for instance, would walk, and then so often use this example. If you go for a walk, when you reach a point where you're going to turn back to where you came from, then it's a good idea to just bend forward, fold, and stay like that for a minute or 2 minutes, and then come up and then walk again. Because that enhancement greatly improves the ability of the body to breathe out the old toxicity in the system. So while moving and breathing helps to clear the system, you go upside down and you come back up again. The blood that was in whatever part that's now the other way will be more oxygenated and at the same time carry off a greater quantity of toxicity. So it's a question of elimination. So literally, if you sit like this the whole day, for instance, like you're sitting in a chair, looks like that, and you sit like that, then your feet are stuck down there under the desk the whole time. And if you go do this, then the blood that was in your foot the whole day is only going to properly leave your foot when you do this for 1 or 2 minutes.
Right.
Otherwise, you're never going to really get that blood out. And if you think about it, if you sit the whole day and you walk and walk and walk to your car or something or whatever, or if you sit at home and then you go and lie down, then you've never gone that far. So that's the degree that you want to go to. Otherwise, you're basically like that, sitting, and then you're lying down. So why not just lift the legs up?
And for yogis who maybe are not quite ready for shoulder stand yet, would you say it would be fine for them to just practice pressing their legs up against the wall?
Yeah. So the half bridge is always such a good example of a half shoulder stand, but with just about as many benefits. And what you can do to combine it with a shoulder stand is you just do that.
Yeah.
And the other leg, and then do the half bridge. Then it's 2 parts of the shoulder stand, but separated. And of course, like you say, the other version would be to simply go up in the wall like that.
Yes.
Or you can even go as low as this. And there are so many variations that can be done by people who aren't in a great condition. So another one would be to just take a support and lie like this. It's pretty useful. That completely brings the blood from there to here, from there to here. So you just maybe need to take a bit more time then, like maybe 2 minutes. So there are a few practices that would be as beneficial for you in a passive manner as Vigor healing yoga is. So 2 minutes lying like that would be so beneficial for you, rather than to do nothing. So also, if you can do a shoulder stand but you're tired, then rather than do nothing because you're too tired, rather lie on your back with the legs up for 2 minutes. I mean, 2 minutes out of a day of 24 hours is minuscule. We just need to motivate ourselves for those 2 minutes. Yeah, do you want to demonstrate the same thing or something similar? on the main screen.
All right, so I'm going to practice the half bridge. I'm down onto my mat. I'm going to try and bring my heels as close into the tailbone as I can. Keeping the chin tucked in, I'm going to relax the shoulders. And then inhale, I'm going to start to lift the hips up. As I do that, I'm going to stack my shoulders underneath. And either I can stay here, or if it's comfortable, I can bring my fingers interlace underneath the tailbone, stack the shoulders a little more. Take about 3 breaths. And exhale, slowly bringing the spine back down. I like to just hug my knees into the chest. And then if I come up, I can either take a boat pose with the legs bent, still creating that length through the spine, or I can extend the legs, either grabbing hold of the feet or just releasing the arms alongside. And coming onto the mat, coming into downward facing dog. If your hamstrings are tight, you just want to just gently press the heels back one at a time, spreading fingers, pressing into the palms. Then shake out your head. Make sure your neck is not under any stress. Really sending the hips up nice and high. Come down to the knees. Then take a little cat and cow here. Just rounding. A nice counter stretch. Back onto the tailbone, and then to come into a shoulder stand. Taking the legs up high. You can either keep your hands to the base of the spine, that's where you're at, or release them to the mat. And you can bring the knees down, bending down, or go into a plow pose first. And then come back down onto your mat slowly. Extend the legs up, shake them out. Hug the knees in. And then I like to add a happy baby after a shoulder stand, so taking the inside of the feet. You can grab your big toe. And just take a little rock side to side, still keeping the chin tucked in. Back of the neck nice and long. And hug the knees into the chest.